When advocates try to help families, they work on many fronts, from housing to childcare and education. Adding to the difficulties are stumbling blocks for parents trying to make the transition from government assistance to self-supporting jobs. To tell us about efforts in the area by Parenting Journey are the organization's Managing Director of Strategy, Erica Brunner, and a co-chair of its Parent Advisory Council, Renee Ulloa. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
I'll start with Renee. You are the consummate advocate because you're the parent who's trying to get ahead here. How's it going?
Not so great. I haven't been working since January, and it's been really hard because now I live out by the Cape, and childcare for my son is only part-time, which makes it really difficult when it's, trying to find work, because not a lot of people can accommodate my limited availability.
Well, start with your son. How old is he, and what's the problem with him not having enough childcare, or the quality of childcare?
Well, he'll be 5 on Monday, and it's not so much that it's like the quality of childcare isn't what the problem is. It's just the accessibility to the childcare is what the problem is, because he's in part-time right now, and to get full-time, you either have to, have the money to pay for it, or be ahead on the list for a voucher, and I am apparently don't qualify for a voucher.
Now, as you know, you've probably heard this yourself. There's somewhere around the corner, there's this chorus of people, well, why don't you get a job? And of course, you try to do that. So what does that have to do with the child care dilemma?
Well, so it's not hard to get a job. I mean, anybody can get a job. I can get a job now if I wanted to, but what am I supposed to do with my child if I'm working? And since he's only part-time, it's really hard because I can't go to work if I don't have anybody to watch him.
Erica, of course, this is a problem a lot of people face. In terms of policy and strategy, what should be done about that?
A lot of different things. I think our childcare system is really the result of a really complex network of patchwork solutions that we've been trying to put in place to reflect the needs of 21st century families. And so the childcare crisis that we're having right now is really the result of lack of accessibility and lack of affordability. And so we really need a comprehensive solution that takes into account the reality of working families' lives. And so if you work from 9 to 5, having a school day that ends at 2:30, you need to now pay for wraparound care. And so that's a problem for working families. Not being able to access child care or afford it based on minimum wage, which we know doesn't pay nearly enough for families to live on, makes it unaffordable and therefore inaccessible. And so we need to address both of those things.
Renee, you're also contending with the housing market in this state. How has that affected what you're doing?
Well, let's see, for someone like myself, with housing being like over $2,000, especially like in the Boston area.
$2,000 a month for rent, right?
Yeah, for rent. It's extremely hard. And I actually just moved into my apartment from a shelter because I had qualified for a home-based program, which basically they just pay a stipend of your rent for a year. And then once you're done with that, that's it. So that makes it extremely hard for me in my case, because right now I'm currently not working. And even if when I do find a job and finding that childcare for my son, it's still going to be hard for me because I have to make sure I make enough money that's going to cover my rent and my utilities and all the other bills.
Erica, one of the things that's going on is that your organization is trying to get behind some kind of legislative measures this year. Anything you can tell us about what you're hoping for, at least?
Sure. So we're working with a statewide coalition that has 30 organizations at the table because this is wide-reaching across the state and for all families. We're really trying to look at accessibility, and so increasing the number of slots in center-based care is really important. There's currently a wait list with nearly 18,000 families on it waiting for care. And so creating more slots is a priority, and then looking at costs and figuring out how do we create more subsidies so that families who are living right above the poverty line who may not qualify for the vouchers can also get their child into childcare, so some expansion on those subsidies.
And not that this is to say anything negative about the parents of those children, but if they're not getting early education, that's going to have a problem for them down the line, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think as we start to understand the brain science of developing children, we're starting to really understand those critical first 3 years, and therefore the quality of access to early education and care is important for the future of all families across the state, and is increasingly important for kids, of Renee and the families that we partner with at Parenting Journey.
This is BNN News, and we're talking with Renee Ulloa and Erica Brunner from the Parenting Journey. Renee, one of the other things you're also doing is that you're involved here as a member of the Parent Advisory Council. You're an advocate in addition to everything else you're trying to do. Why do you do that?
I joined because I wanted to be able to be a voice for other parents who are in similar situation as mine, who are also struggling like I am, because I think it's really important that we have other people, like for the parents to know that they're not alone. And it's also because I have, given everything I've been going through, I've felt like I'm just how I'm treated. Basically, I feel like they're just belittling me with the system, and like I know what that's like. So I just wanted to be able to be an advocate for other parents and let them know, like, you don't have to be treated like that. Like, that's not okay. And I'm hoping that one day I can hopefully make a difference in someone's life by being an advocate for other people.
How does it help? Because you have that experience. I mean, even I've had that experience with a bureaucrat here and there. But when you talk to other parents who've been through that, you're feeling really depressed about it, and you tell them, and they say they've gone through the same thing. What does that do to you?
That actually it hurts my heart because I know what that's like. And, and then there's a lot of people that just feel like they can't get out of it. And so for me, it's just being able to let them know that there is someone else who feels the same way, and, having someone to talk to about it.
Right. Erica, we should mention that if parents want to find some more information about the issues that you're working on, or if they want to get involved, is there some way they could do that online, perhaps?
Yeah, absolutely. They can visit our website, parentingjourney.org/PBOR, and that's our Parents' Bill of Rights. And that's the values-based platform that our Parent Advisory Council created that talks about what all families need and deserve in this state.
Thank you both very much. Erica Brunner and Renee Ulloa from the Parenting Journey.